alongside Qatar, who will play against Jordan following this game. It's been a great start to the championship. It's been exciting games, and it's gone up a level today in the second round. We're in Chongqing for this Group F clash between the host nation China, who so far have taken everything before them, and Kazakhstan, who fell in overtime on the first day. They rebounded to beat Chinese Taipei on the second day, but on day 3 they fell badly to Lebanon. And you have some injury news regarding Kazakhstan, Quinito.
For Jerry Johnson, we don't know if he's going to be playing. He's certainly not 100%. There's a bandage near his left knee. And during the warm-ups, we noticed that he wasn't really 100% in taking off for his shots. So we don't know exactly how well he'll be able to play today.
He played just 12 minutes in the game against Lebanon, scored just 2 points after he had scored 40 in the first 2 games of the competition. And he is a crucial part to this Kazakhstan team. And we see coach Vitaly Stredkov, who would be delighted his team is through to the second round. And what about this Chinese team, Quinito?
Well, unbelievable performance so far. Every game, they found a hero. You remember it was Zhou Qi who led China to a 76-73 victory over Korea. Then that victory over Jordan, it was all Yi Jianyang, 26 points and 14 rebounds. And now one by one they've been called to the delight of the home crowd. China still unbeaten, only 2 teams left unbeaten in the FIBA Asia Championships so far, China and Iran, drawing the loudest applause. Yi Jianyang, and then you saw Li Gun, one of our favorite players. He's the only Chinese player who puts that fist thump on his chest when he makes a shot. Li Gun hitting 72% from the floor in this tournament. What a performance so far from the field.
There is coach Gong Lu Ming, who is doing such an outstanding job with this Chinese team. And now we'll pause for the national anthems, starting with Kazakhstan.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of People's Republic of China.
The crowd slowly building here in Chongqing for this Group F clash between the host nation China and Kazakhstan. China unbeaten so far in this tournament. Kazakhstan with one win to their name, but that win against Chinese Taipei has not carried through to the second round. So a big game for them today in terms of their quarterfinal hopes. I'm Paul O'Kennedy. I'm joined by Quinito Henson. And Quinito, who are some of your key players from today's game?
Well, check out China, and certainly some of the key players we'd like to keep an eye on. Yu Jianliang, we said that he exploded for China in that win over Jordan, 84-67, 26 points and 14 rebounds, 42-25 advantage by the Chinese bench. Big thing about China is that 8 players are averaging at least 5 points a game. And we've got our referees now being introduced. Countries represented: Philippines, Malaysia, and Iran. Go back to the results of the 2013 FIBA Asia Championships in Manila. In the second round, both these teams met up, just like they're meeting up now in the second round, and China beating Kazakhstan 73-67. There's Xu Peng, and you need him to get on track.
Yeah, Zhou Peng, such an important player. He had 14 points against Korea. He played just 3 minutes against Jordan. Now, whether there was an injury concern or it was just the fact that other players were getting the job done, as here is the Kazakhstan roster. Who are the key players for you, Quinito?
Oh, definitely Jerry Johnson. He's their naturalized player. He's averaging 14 points, 5.7 assists. He's the guy who makes that engine run, so you want to keep an eye on him. Number 9 player, Koleshnikov. He's averaging 9.7 points, 5.3 rebounds. Of course, Ponomarev. He's the veteran of the Kazakhstan team. The big man, 14 points, 12.3 rebounds.
And there we see the starting 5. One man not in the starting 5, but who has made a big impact is Dmitry Klimov. He's averaging 10 points and 5 rebounds per game. And the big man is shooting 46% from the three-point line, a key to their offense. Here's the Chinese team roster. We talk about their big men, but what about their guards? Guo Ai-lun, the 21-year-old who burst through the junior ranks, is now starting to make his mark at the senior level. He's dished out 15 assists already in this tournament to just 4 turnovers. What's the impact he's having on the team?
Oh, tremendous. He's averaging 5 assists a game, and he paired with Zhao Jiwei, and they're both teammates in the Chinese league. They have made a difference for this team.
We see Zhao Jiwei starting in the point guard spot. Guo Ai-lun will come in and play either the 1 or the 2, while veteran Liu Wei can also come in and give them a steady head. There we see Yi, the superstar of the team, who received a wonderful reception when he was introduced. Yao Ming was in the building earlier.
And there he is.
There he is, Yao, the king of Chinese basketball. Yi, perhaps the prince, the king in waiting. But certainly Yao, an interested observer here today.
Had an interesting conversation with Yao Ming during the bidding process of the World Cup in Tokyo, and he loves to talk about his experiences in basketball. Such a gentleman, what a sense of humor. And Yao Ming was saying that when he found out that there was a 42-year-old player in the FIBA Asia Championships by the name of Asi Talaw of the Philippines, he said, "What, is he still playing?" And Yao Ming said, "Maybe I should think of making a comeback."
I'm sure he would still be effective.
I think so, at any level of play.
The introductions have been done. We await the Chinese team to come out on the court.
Big issue, Paul, confronting Kazakhstan is field goal percentage. They're hitting only 33.3% from the floor as a team, and that's something that is a cause for concern. Lebanon, they were blown out by 36 points. They did lose to Qatar in a hotly contested game. They lost in overtime by 4 points, but they're coming off that blowout loss. So you wonder, what is the character of this team? What is their mental attitude? Will they be mentally tough to face China coming out of that blowout win? Will they be motivated to play harder than ever against China?
It's the FIBA Asia Championship. We're here in Changsha in China. This is Group F. There's a hush around the stadium as the host China get ready to take on Kazakhstan. We are ready for action, and it's a false start. The referee asking for a retip. Like I said, a crowd filling up. They are late arrivers here in Changsha. The last 2 games for China have been jammed packed to the rafters. and I'm sure they'll fill in as this game progresses. China with first possession. Yi to the low post. He's not used this time. Here's Zhao. Lovely feed to Yi. Trademark mid-range jumper doesn't drop. Zhou Qi with the rebound, and China are on the board first.
It's almost like Zhou Qi telling Yi Jianjiang, take the shot from the outside. If you miss, I'll take care of business underneath.
It's a successful formula on that occasion. Here is Johnson looking fast. No troubles with the calf injury there. Ponomarev can't get the jump shot to go, and China with an opportunity to extend this lead. There's Zhao. Beautiful ball movement to Li Gen. He nails the three-point shot. Li Gen now 8 of 8 from the three-point line in this tournament as Johnson looks to answer. Dances into the paint. A good deflection there from Zhou Qi.
You have to be impressed with Li Gun. As you were saying, he's 8 out of 8 from three-point distance. You see that pass? Li Gun wide open for the shot, knocking it down.
He's as close to automatic as it can get at this stage of the tournament. Here is Anatoly Kolesnikov. Good defense from Li Gun. Inside to Zagul, and the 21-year-old spins. And Zhou Qi says, you're going to have to bring something better into my house.
Zhou Qi showing what he can do as a defender, protecting the rim.
Shot clock at 2. Inside to Zagul, and good help defense from China. And Kazakhstan finding scoring difficult in the early stages. It's 5-0 to
Great
China.
recovery that time for China. Zhou Qi was way outside, but somebody else coming close to the basket and making sure there would be no basket for Kazakhstan.
So impressive, Zhou Qi's ability to step out and defend the pick and roll like that. Here's Ding, been struggling from outside, so he takes it inside. What a finish from Ding Yanyu-hang.
Hanging in the air, elevating, and watch it right here. There's the up fake, and then the collapsing defense. Great athletic ability to sway his body over to the left and getting the shot to fall inside.
He's only shooting 36% from two-point field goal range this tournament. So that three-point play will be a welcome relief for him to get things started, and it gives his team an 8-0 lead. There's Pavel Ilim. The Chinese defense covering avenue at the moment. There's Anatoly Kolesnikov. He can't score. Zhao Qi in the open court, and Jerry Johnson stops the fast break. Of course, there's a worldwide campaign going on with the hashtag #FreeTheFastBreak, trying to cut down on those sorts of deliberate fouls that we just saw there from Joe Johnson. But we've got our first time out of the evening. It's been China making the running. Kazakhstan want to talk about things. They trail 8-0. Just under 2 minutes gone so far. It's been an enterprising start from China. What have you made of it?
Nothing going right here for Kazakhstan. The defense has been tough for China. Kazakhstan has taken shots from the inside. Nothing there. They've taken shots from medium range. Nothing there as well. And the way China's playing defense, they haven't even committed a foul in this game. Kazakhstan already with 2 personal fouls.
China 3 of 4 from the field. 4 of their 8 points have come in the paint. 1 from the free throw line, and their 3-point shot came from a Zhao Qi penetration into the paint, and then he found Li Gun on the perimeter. China with a chance to extend this lead into double figures. It's Zhao Qi. He's made a good start in his battle with Jerry Johnson. Double screen along the baseline for Zhao. He'll go to the pick and roll. Oh, he jumps in the air, tough pass. And perhaps just showing a little bit of his inexperience there, Zhao.
Well, some hesitation that time, and Li Gun not up to the task of fielding that pass. It was a difficult pass, but there was pressure on the defense. I'm sure if there's one thing that the Kazakhstan coach Charbov talked about, it's how to play defense against that tough China offense.
And the China guards played a lot of pick and pop in their last game. And we've got a foul called there. It's going against China, against Zhao Ji Wei. But in their last game, both Zhao and Guo Lin played a lot of pick and pop with Yi. And that time the Kazakhstan defense defended that pass and made Zhao become a creator for somebody else. Shot clock down to 10. Johnson with a nice feed to Zagulin. But once again, look at the hustle. Straight, Ponomarev getting the steal. Johnson's open from three-point range. One dribble left. Can't get it to go. Kolesnikov can't recover it. And still, after more than 2.5 minutes, Kazakhstan cannot hit the scoreboard.
Kazakhstan has had its shots. Nothing there so far. He's Liu Gun.
He good on the baseline. Does this man ever miss? He drove strong. He pulled up and he put it up there nice and soft. It's 10-0. Johnson off the Zagulin screen and he ends the drought.
That's a three-point shot scored by Jerry Johnson. Badly needed points here for Kazakhstan.
The way Johnson was able to elevate on that three-point shot suggested that his calf is feeling quite good. Here's Yi at the top. Some good pressure defense that time from Kazakhstan. And look at him again denying the pass to Yi. So Chi left in the corner for a three, and Kazakhstan would be happy to see that shot going up all night long as we get a careless turnover from Jerry Johnson. And Kazakhstan can't afford mistakes like that at the moment.
Trying to pick up pace here. Kazakhstan feeling the pressure now of having to go against the big men of China, so they feel they need to speed up the game before the Chinese defense sets up.
Interesting to see after Zhou Qi launched that three-pointer from the corner, he comes straight out, he gets a pat on the back from Gon Lu Ming, but perhaps just a reminder of what his strengths are and where China need him doing his work. There's Ding, feeds it out to Yi. He's so dangerous in this situation. He calmly raises and knocks down the two-pointer, and it's a 12-3 lead for China.
So comfortable shooting that outside shot, Yi Jianyang. Even if there's no possible offensive rebounder for him, with Zhou Qi now sitting down on the bench. And Wang Jielin still not making an appearance in this game.
And Zhao picks up his second foul, trying to stay in front of Jerry Johnson. And getting back to Yi, I mean, he is so calm the way he puts the ball on the floor, steps back. He belies a man of 213 centimeters tall with those sort of skills.
He's got a lot of experience, having played in the NBA for 5 years. He was a first-round draft choice of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Not just that, he's a man who's averaged double-doubles at the Olympics and the World Cup, as we see some good defense from China inside, but Zagulin spins and is blocked by Yi, using all of that experience on that play. Off to Ding, he goes strong to the basket. And after some shooting troubles earlier in the tournament, Ding Yanyu Hung making his presence felt here with 5 early points.
And this looks like a very well-oiled China machine now, playing great defense and playing terrific offense.
Johnson with the feed, Zagulin underneath. He has been swamped every time he's got the basketball. Johnson with so much left to do. He can't make this one go, but some good hustle there from Anatoly Kolesnikov. Hill on a turnover.
Putting the ball on the floor against those trees, not a wise idea. That lane is congested by China.
Here's Guo Lun, who's checked into the game. He is one of the most exciting prospects in Chinese basketball. Really good inside. What a feed from Yi Jinlin.
Well, he was posting up Jerry Johnson. He knew he had a mismatch.
We talk about the guard skills of Yi, and they were on show there with a beautiful high-low feed. Nice pick and pop for Kazakhstan, and Ponomarev sinks a much-needed 2 on the feed from Jerry Johnson.
Jerry Johnson establishing his presence here on the floor. He's the stabilizer. He needs to set the table well.
Lee Good again with his 9th straight three-point make. He puts his arms out and celebrates.
And he not just one thump of the chest, that's 2 thumps.
He is flying, as his celebration indicated there. 9 from 9 from long range so far in this tournament.
Well, he's such a fan favorite, and Lee Gun actually played on the Beijing Ducks team that won the CBA championship last season. And during the off-season, he just signed a 3-year contract to move to Zhanyang Flying Tigers.
Well, he shot 46% from three-point range for Beijing as Jerry Johnson. He is all class, hovering along the baseline, and he keeps his team within 12. Kazakhstan into a zone, a 2-3 zone. They leave Ding open. He's struggled from three-point range in this tournament, just 29%. And now here's Johnson looking to explore, but some good help defense from Ding. Ponomarev ambitious going against Yi. But look at the hustle inside, outstanding. In fact, that was Smirnov on the drive who has come into the ball game. He apologizes to his teammates, says that was out of the offense. And we saw the way Kazakhstan were able to suffocate Chinese Taipei. They had a clear plan to play half-court basketball that night, but they've been forced into some rush shots so far, haven't they, Cornito?
Well, because of the Chinese defense, they're making Kazakhstan do things that they're not ready to do. And we talked about Wang Jielin earlier, now making his first appearance.
Kazakhstan 2 of 11 from two-point range. The only thing keeping them in this game is their 4 offensive rebounds. But China 10 points in the paint to 2 after just over 6 minutes of play. As we have a little discussion at the score bench. Perhaps a shot clock issue. It's been set to 4. 3:37 to play until quarter time. Here's Johnson. Has to get it up. Dishes off to Smirnov. That's a 3 and it's down. Kazakhstan now 2 of 2.
Good
from
location by
three-point
Jerry
range.
Johnson. He knew exactly who to pass the ball with 4 seconds on the shot clock.
Smirnov, that's his first score of the tournament. He had played 12 minutes coming into this game, but he finished 5th in scoring in the Kazakhstan League last season, so he does know how to put the ball in the hole.
2-3 zone defense, and China keeping that ball moving.
Guess who's left open?
That's his first miss for three-point distance in the entire tournament.
How about the offensive rebound by Ding? Ding Yangyu hung in the air.
Watch it right here.
Look at that desire. That's what that's all about. Now Li Gun, he shot 46% from long range for Beijing last season. He would have thought that was pretty good until he nailed his first 9 here in Changsha.
Yi Jianliang going to the bench, taking a rest. Now a different twin tower combination on the floor. Wang Jielin and Zhou Qi.
It's been impressive so far this tournament how well the big men of China have been able to operate together on the floor. Often 2 bigs can crowd the floor, but China seem to have that sorted. Some credit to coach Gong Lu Ming. As here we see Guo, nice feed across Li Gun. Perhaps a little gun shy after his first miss of the tournament. Now Ding, and a shot clock violation. Some good scrambling defense from Kazakhstan, but also the open shot there was Li Gun. He needed to fire.
Exactly, he had an open shot, but opting to pass that ball around.
As we see Yao Ming again watching on.
You know, we've been talking about Li Gun's offense. What about his defense? He's kept Kalashnikov quiet the entire game so far. He has not scored.
Kalashnikov, the all-time leader in scoring at Nicholls State in the USA. But so far this tournament, he has struggled. He shot 30% from both two-point range and three-point range. And Kazakhstan certainly need their small forward to get going here tonight. They trail 19-10. Johnson's been the man making it happen for them. That one's off the mark.
Don't look now, but Go Ailun is now in the game.
He finds Li Gun. Nice dribble move and a finish. How about the strength of Li Gun to ride the contact and get the 2?
110 kilograms. That's 242 pounds of solid muscle and meat. Li Gun.
For those not familiar with those measurements, it equates to very big and very strong. There's Smirnov at the top. He's closed down China in a zone at the moment. Oh, strong drive, offensive foul.
Collapsing defense that time.
And
that's what you call the Great Wall of China.
That has
man
hurt
down.
Both players, Ponomarev and Zhou Qi on the ground. That's a concern. Ponomarev holding his back. Zhou Qi appears to be holding his knee. So let's hope there's nothing serious there. But Zhou Qi looks to be in a lot of pain.
Watch it here again. There was a drive and a hard fall by Zhou Qi.
And Qi looks like he falls right across the knee. The right knee. In fact, it might be the left knee he falls across,
That's right.
and it may have just twisted outwards.
Ponomarev actually collapsing on that knee, exposed knee of Zhou Qi.
We're going to have a break here, folks. It's China leading 21 to Kazakhstan 10. So we see Liu Wei checking into the ball game, and
Well, he hasn't made an impact at all in this tournament so far. He's averaging only 2.3 points a game. Earlier we mentioned there are 8 players on the Chinese team averaging at least 5 points. He's not one of them. And his role as the point guard stabilizer, that's been taken over by 2 guards who've been playing beautiful music together. Here we go once more. And Ponomarev collapsing on that exposed knee of Zhou Qi. You saw that again on your replay.
well, the good news for Kazakhstan is that Ponomarev is able to walk off the court. The bad news is that Zhou Qi for China had to be helped. He was leaning heavily on his teammates and support staff there.
Well, let's hope that everything will be okay. Ponomarev is okay.
And sometimes we forget how big these guys are. Zhou Qi, 217 centimeters. Ponomarev, 211 centimeters. That's a big collision with a lot of weight hitting a hard wooden floor. Back underway here, 21 to 10 to China. Just under 2 minutes until quarter time. There's Ding with a nice feed underneath. In fact, that feed came from Jai Xiao Chun, who's just checked into the game. He found Wang Chailin.
When you watch it there,
Good hard foul.
well, Paul, that 2-3 zone defense, you've got to make sure that you've got the back line well covered. You've got Wang Chailin finding the open space behind that 2-3 zone defense, sneaking his way inside. So if you're playing space, if you're defending space on a 2-3 zone defense, you've got to be aware that there's movement on the offense.
Now, quite the contrast from the 2-point range. China 7 of 8 so far as Wang hits the second. Kazakhstan just 2 of 11. And that is the reason China has a 13-point lead. So we see Ruzagaliev into the game to run the point guard duties with Jerry Johnson on the bench. Here is Kolesnikov. Good defense from Li Gun. Klimov on the baseline. He throws a Hail Mary. Shot clock at 4. Tough shot from Yazagaliev, and he hits it. What a big 3-point shot from the 28-year-old Rustam Yagaliev. And that's Kazakhstan now 3 of 4 from 3-point range, and they stay within 10. Kazakhstan again, 2-3 zone defense. High ball screen for Li Gun. But Kazakhstan have looked so much better in this zone, and they force a turnover. Foul on Wang Chailin, and that will put Anatoly Kolesnikov to the free throw line, with China now in the bonus.
And previously not a smart play there by the veteran Liu Wei, passing the ball straight into the Kazakhstan defense. You'll want Liu Wei penetrating, but if he doesn't have the look for someone to pick it up at the low post, he needs to be able to kick it out on the dribble drive.
He's a 35-year-old who first burst onto the world stage at the 2002 World Championships in Indianapolis.
And here's Kolesnikov still looking for his first point, finally getting it. Born in Russia, moved to New York, then settled in Australia, and now
back to New York for university.
Right.
Back to Australia to play for the Sydney Kings.
Nicholls State, I think, is
And
in
then-
Louisiana, and so
And then to
spent
his
his years there.
family's traditional home in Kazakhstan to play for BC Astana, where he's been for the past 3 seasons. Just over 30 seconds until quarter time. Here's Ding, little shuffle of the feet, he gets away with it. And some good scrambling defense. Gee, Kazakhstan look good in this zone.
And that time deflected the ball out of bounds, making sure that there would be no kick out. We did say previously, that's something that China will want to explore a lot more. The penetration and the kick out, rather than try to force the ball inside against a 2-3
Shot
zone.
clock at 3, Guo fires. And another rushed shot for China. And I think a smart move by Kazakhstan. They've gone straight to this zone as soon as Yi sat on the floor, the man who can punish you so badly from mid-range.
A little bit of pressure now from the Chinese backcourt. making it a little more difficult for them to bring it up.
12 seconds remaining on the clock.
That's the delay on the shot clock. And as far as the game clock is concerned,
Skips to the corner. Here's Marchuk for three. He misses. One on the shot clock. It'll have to be a Hail Mary. In fact, Guo does not bother. It was an enterprising start from China. Kazakhstan turned the screws with their zone defense and got back into the ball game. And at quarter time, it's the host nation China leading 23-14.
a very interesting first quarter so far. You take a look at the statistics, 87% shooting from two-point distance for China and only 18% from Kazakhstan from that same distance. And Kazakhstan, three-pointers so far against two for China. Take a look at the rebounding story. And turnovers, even. And that field goal percentage of Kazakhstan, that is a cause for concern, as Yao Ming acknowledging the applause from the crowd. Yi Jianliang, he had his moment sitting down on the bench. And that was the tip. And Zhou Qi, he had to go back to the bench after a collision with Pomonarev.
Look at that block from Zhou Qi. And I know that injury looked bad as we see him swatted out of court in front of the FIBA clean game sign. There's another block, that one from Yi. As China unleashed a block party, here was the man Johnson who was active early. He got Kazakhstan on the board after 3 minutes with that three-pointer.
Well, that shot has to fall for Kazakhstan. And Lee Gun,
speaking of three-pointers,
yeah,
he hit his first two. He went to 9 of 9 for the tournament. He missed his next one, but then he took it inside. And what about that finish?
Strong drive for Lee Gun off the glass, and you see the expression on his face.
And Cornito,
like the emotion.
I heard a rumor he's your favorite Chinese player because of that emotion he shows.
It's great to see that kind of emotion, especially on this stage, the Asian stage.
About to get underway here in quarter number 2. It's a Kazakhstan ball. They trail it by 9, but it could have been a lot worse as China burst to a 10-0 lead. Not the ideal start though. Guo Lin, he gets the steal, something he does so well.
You know, the slow-mo images we saw in between the quarters, a lot of blocks made by China, making it difficult for Kazakhstan to score inside. That's the reason why they need to knock down those shots from outside to make it a little easier for the big guys to operate.
Here's Wang Shailin, nice pass to Ding, but he's blocked. A nice little touch on that from Smirnov, and it gives Kazakhstan an opportunity to cut this lead down to 7 or even 6 with a three-point bomb. Here's Kolesnikov, strong drive at Ding and a nice finish, and shows the touch that made him the Rookie of the Year in the Australian NBL back in 2012.
And that was when he played with the Sydney Kings.
Correct. This new way, and Kazakhstan, not surprisingly, sticking with the zone defense that's worked so well. Yi's still not back into the game, and China, they need some answers. I think they need some more on-ball screens against this zone defense.
Either that or some, well, on-ball screens and then the penetration. Off the screen, some rolls to the basket, but they're not getting post position because of that zone defense.
Guo Lun missing the three-point shot. That's not his ball game. He's the player who's at his best in the open court. He reminds me, I think he's like the Chinese Sergio Yul. With the aggression and the strength and the athleticism as he now takes a break. And this is a good substitution. Li Gen, the best three-point shooter in the tournament at the moment at 90%. He's back into the game to bust this zone open.
Well, Li Gen, not a long rest at all on the bench, but see how valuable he is, not only as a facilitator, but that time, a bad pass, that was read again by that zone defense.
And again by Anatoly Kolesnikov, who has done an excellent job after a slow start. He's only got 3 points, but he has been anticipating well in this zone. There's Klimov. He's been shooting the ball extremely well for a big man. Coming hard off the screen is Yargaliev. He can't get that one to go. Yu Wei with another ill-advised pass.
China needs to speed up its game against that zone. Before it sets up, they need to be flying up court.
Nice pass inside. We've got a held ball called. And that one looks like it will go to China.
Possession arrow, yes, going to China. Again, that sneaky play of China looking for the big man behind the 2-3 zone defense.
Absolutely right, as Jerry Johnson comes back into the ball game. And you talk about China needing to generate speed. They've also got to look after the ball now, because with Johnson in the ball game, your turnovers can get punished severely. Here's Lee Gun into Zhai. Good help defense from Zagulan, but the referee says it was a little over-enthusiastic. And that'll be 2 shots to come.
And with just 2 seconds on the shot clock that time, so good move on the part of China to go aggressive towards the basket.
Zhai Xiaochun had 6 points on 3 of 5 shooting against Jordan.
And Zhai, he was Lee Gun's teammate with the Beijing Ducks.
I hear they are a quack team in the CBA. Apologise to anyone who is allergic to dad jokes for that one. As Zhai makes the second free throw. It's an 8-point game, and I think given they trailed 10-0 after less than 3 minutes, Kazakhstan would be happy to be in this situation.
Oh, I think they're doing a good job defensively, and you're wondering how much longer is Yi Jianliang going to be sitting on the bench.
An excellent 2-man game between Johnson and Klimov, but the size of Wong Che-Lin intimidating the attempt inside.
They need some extra passes inside. They need the penetration and the drop pass.
I think they need more inside-out action as well. They're 3 of 6 from 3-point range, but at the moment, once they attack the basket, they're just challenging the bigs, and so far, the bigs have had the answer. Lee Gun back to New Wei. And now he fires. He's 9 of 10. He's 9 of 11 for the tournament now. And a clever tap from Kolesnikov.
Good box out, and Yi Jianliang ready to check in at the next dead ball situation.
Here's Johnson to the basket, up and under. He's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. An excellent recognition from Johnson. The big fella Wong was right up in the face of Shagulan, so he knew the rim wasn't being protected.
A burst of speed there for Jerry Johnson. There were some issues about his calf before the start of this game, and we were talking about Yi Jianliang, how much longer he was going to sit on the bench. And Coach Gong Lu Ming realizing he needs Yi back in the game to take control. Jerry Johnson from Rider University, same school that produced Jason Thompson, who's now playing for the Golden State Warriors.
Is that right? Well, you talk about Jerry Johnson's calf. He's averaging 14 points per game, but that's a little misleading because he only played 12 minutes against Lebanon for 2 points. He was averaging 20 over the first 2 nights. And Kazakhstan within 6. This game is on their liking. And we talked about their shutdown job of Chinese Taipei. There's a lot of similarities between that and what's happening now as Lee Gun looks to change things. But again, the zone defense closing up the driving opportunities for China. Johnson finds Zagula. Nice behind the back move, step back. The shot, unfortunately, could not match the move, and Zagulan gives up the foul to slow the fast break.
That's a 13th foul for Kazakhstan. China, again, when there's an opportunity to run, they want to speed it up. They don't want that zone defense set up by Kazakhstan. Now it's set up 2-3 zone once again.
And remember the campaign, hashtag free the fast break if you want to stop those intentional fouls and get more fast break action in international basketball. Or basketball anywhere for that matter, whether it's club level, professional level, international level. We just want to see the highlights. And China have had plenty of them so far this tournament. Perhaps the biggest highlight maker has been Zhou Qi, and if you've just joined us, he has suffered what looked like a knee injury, had to be helped from the court. And hopefully for China's sake and for his sake, he'll be okay as we see some good ball movement from China. Lee Gun, excellent movement around the perimeter, but that shot is way off, and shot clock violation as it did not hit the rim. And again, we saw an excellent closeout on Lee Gun, 2 extra passes, and Kazakhstan, through their zone, managed to get it to a less dangerous shooter.
Well, certainly, Kazakhstan coach Cherpkov very happy with his development. It's been that zone defense that has turned things around here, made this game very, very competitive. China was up by 14 at one stage. That lead has been cut down to 6 points.
Pick and pop with Klimov, but he's pinged for an illegal foul call.
China scored only 1 point in this quarter so far. 6:12 to go. Watch it right here.
Klimov still on the move, and his legs spread out like a teepee, setting up for the night in wintertime. To see a substitution, Klimov heads to the bench. That was his first personal foul, so no danger there. And still 2-3 zone. I think Kazakhstan will stay in this until China can force them to go out of it. Yi at the top of the key. They've got to get him some jump shot opportunities. Zhao from three-point range, and he hits. He was 1 of 5 from three-point range coming into this game, but that is a big shot for China.
Nice big setup there by Yi Jianliang, but then he didn't roll to the basket. There was a pass that went to a wide open man, Zhao Jiwei.
And the crowd here in Changsha, it's about 3/4 full. They're trying to lift their team. The China chant ringing out around the stadium, and that time they helped force the error from Pavel Ilan, who let the ball slip through his fingers. That's turnover number 7 for Kazakhstan as Yi goes inside, falls away and makes it go.
That's what you call imposing his will. Yi Jianliang against that zone defense, getting the shot, getting position deep, and then making it.
China have swung the momentum back their way. We've got a timeout here to Kazakhstan. It's 29-18. We see some stats there. Jerry Johnson with 7 points, Ponomarev with 2 rebounds, and Johnson with 2 assists as well. And of those 18 points, he has had a hand in most of them.
Jerry Johnson is a stabilizer of the Kazakhstan team. Some images here of the game so far. It's been a very interesting game. Kazakhstan still to lead in this contest, and Lee Gun, he's made an impact. Lu Wei, and of course Go Ailun.
Kazakhstan have not allowed Guo Ailun any opportunities in transition. We saw against both Korea and Jordan how deadly he could be, as we see Lee Gun with 12 points. He has been deadly. He hit his first 2 3-pointers. He's been going inside since then. And his team owns an 11-point lead. If you're Kazakhstan, things have just swung against you. Do you make some changes here? What do you look at?
Well, I'm looking at more high ball screens for Kazakhstan, maybe getting Jerry Johnson more involved in the offense. There's the high ball screen for Jerry Johnson, just as we expected. But for China, they're not playing small, they're playing big. And in previous games, we've seen Go Ailun and Zhao Jiwei playing together. Look who's coming back. Looks like he's okay. And Zhou Qi getting a round of applause from the fans here.
He's a crowd favorite. They've taped his knee back together.
He's okay.
There's a lot of strapping around it, but they'll be pleased to see him back on. Here's Smirnov, no look pass to Zugul, and shot clock at 3. Johnson with a lot to do. He defers to Smirnov, who fires off the window. What a tough shot as the shot clock expired.
Under time pressure, making that shot count.
We're midway through the second quarter. Kazakhstan continue to hang around. They're back in man-on-man defense here.
That's right, they've extended their defense now. They've been hurt with those outside shots of China.
Inside-outside play from China. And Deng Yanyu-hang on the feed outside from Yi. Hits the 3-pointer. It's a 12-point margin. And not surprisingly, Kazakhstan's back to man. China straight inside to Yi. He draws a double team and opens up a 3-point shot. It's Jerry Johnson in trouble. Shot clock at 6 again. Anatoly Kalashnikov, he's got to get something up, and he turns it over. Here's Zhao Jiwei.
And Smirnov committing the preemptive foul.
But that's a poor foul. 5th team foul on Kazakhstan.
And putting China at the line.
Zhao Jiwei, yeah, he's off to the free throw line. And it wasn't a clear number advantage that time. And that he would have been wise to free the fast break on that occasion, Kunito. Here's Zhao Jiwei. He's 100% from the free throw line so far this tournament.
We're going to be able to see him play alongside Go Ailun. That has been a magical backcourt combination for China, especially they want to speed up things. But I think in recognition of Kazakhstan's size, Chinese coach Gong Lu-ming going with bigs. He's got a big lineup on the floor. Zhou Qi and Yi Jianliang playing together.
Now Zhao there averaging 2.7 points per game, but he's averaging 4.7 assists per game. He has done an outstanding job of getting his teammates involved. So does this man, Jerry Johnson. But he draws the third foul on Zhao Ji Wei, and I think he'll have to make way now for Guo Lun. But hey, Guo has 2 fouls as well, and Jerry Johnson causing some headaches for the Chinese guards.
And walking back to the bench is Zhao Jiwei with 3 personal fouls, as you said. So it's unlikely we're going to see too much time between Guo Lun and Zhao Jiwei together.
Lilin. Now Johnson at the top. Nice hesitation, change of direction. But he misses the 3-point shot. And it is a flat line drive shot when Jerry Johnson lets fly. Here's Guo. Nice feed. That's the combination the Chinese fans love so much as Yi nails the 2-point bomb. And we have seen pick and pop after pick and pop here in Changsha. And I think we're going to be seeing that for a number of years to come in international basketball.
That's automatic 2 points for Yi Jianliang off that pick and pop situation.
There's Guo forcing the steal. Here's a dynamite. Look at him now, he's in transition. Decides to pull it out. Here's the combination. Offensive screen from Yi. And I think initially there was a miscommunication there. Yi was coming out to set that pick and Guo passed him the ball. And then their rhythm was all out of whack.
Coach Gong Lu-ming, you see him on your screen talking to one of his key players, Lee Gun.
I've been so impressed by Gong Lu-ming, and as you said, a man of much experience. A string of foreign coaches have not quite been able to get China over the hump or up to the level they would expect. They've turned to one of their national heroes, and I love the fact that this Chinese team has a real identity. It's a high-pressure basketball team.
You know, what you like about Coach Gong Lu-ming is his intelligence. I mean, he has a good sense of the game. He's got his players moving in and out depending on what the defense has on the floor.
Great hustle there from number 8, Maxim Shmurnov. It was, for all intents and purposes, a turnover, and he made it into another Kazakhstan possession. Here's Johnson. Here's the tireless Jerry Johnson. He goes at Zhou Qi and he finishes under the basket.
Had to improvise. Here's a steal off the inbound, but they failed to score. Koleshnikov. Oh, here's an offensive foul.
Offensive foul on Zhou Qi. Some good pressure from Koleshnikov. And I want to see a replay of that move from Jerry Johnson. He has hawk or eagle eyes for an opening to the basket. He took one there as we see the rebound and the foul from Zhou Qi.
Well, selling the foul, Koleshnikov, and getting the call from the referees. There's a floater. Oh, Jerry Johnson doing it all here for Kazakhstan.
Money floater from Jerry Johnson. He's up to 11 points, and there's almost nothing China can do about it at the moment. There's Guo to Yi. Hesitation. Look at him toying with Zagulan in the low post. Fades away. This one won't drop for Yi. And Kazakhstan, they trail by 11. But this man, if he has anything to do with it, will bring that back. Oh, tough shot from Jerry Johnson. He thought he was fouled, but now he's opposite number Guo in transition and he scores. And you cannot give Guo Lun that much space.
That opening was right there for Guo Lun. But you notice that Jerry Johnson is way back, not able to keep in step with Guo Lun after Jerry Johnson missed his shot.
Guo's first basket of the night. He's got 2 rebounds, 2 assists.
There's the high ball screen and the release pass.
Tough shot. Zhou Qi gets his hands in there, but he has fouled Yargaliev. He leads the team in shooting with 56% from 2-point range, and given he's about to shoot some free throws, more importantly, 86% from the stripe as Guo. That's a walk in the park for Guo Lun. He could finish that one with his eyes closed.
And no reaction on the part of the Kazakhstan defense that time. Just quickly inside for 2 points.
And that's where, you know, Jerry Johnson making so much happen. He missed the shot at that time. He's out of the play. He needs his teammates to step up and help him out there on defense. Yargaliev up to 5 points. He averages just 6 in the tournament. And it's China making the running at the moment, but Kazakhstan hanging around. We've got a timeout here in Changsha. It's the hosts leading by 11.
China looking for a situation where they can break away. They can't seem to find the formula to consistently break away here. They've had some spots where they've been able to run the break and get some breakaway layups, but they haven't come too often. Kazakhstan's defense making it a tight contest so far. Lee Gun.
Look at that pass inside from Yi to Lee Gun.
Certainly made an impact in this game so far. He's the crowd favorite.
How is that? The soft touch on that floater, and then the line drive triple, and then the strong finish inside. He's been doing it all.
All these highlights for Lee Gun. And he's got 12 points in the game so far. He's averaging 8.3. In the China League, he averaged over 17 a game. Certainly a key player in the China League and a key player now with the Chinese national team.
Lee Gun with 12 points.
27 years old.
Yi Jinlian with 6. And Ding Yanyu Hang with 6 points and 4 rebounds for China. Jerry Johnson leading the way for Kazakhstan. He has 11 points and 3 rebounds. And Rustam Yargaliev, he has 5 points, as does Maxim Smirnov as we restart here in Changsha. Kazakhstan back into the 2-3 zone. I like this move, Juanito.
Coming off the timeout, yes. Making it a little more difficult now for China to get the ball in the hands of the big guy. And there's a foul on the jump shot by Yi Jianlian.
And Smirnov complaining about the foul call, but he slapped his hand down on the jump shooter, and if you do that, you give the referee an excuse to call that foul. And we see, though, whenever Kazakhstan go to man-on-man defense, it's pick and pop straight away or a low post feed to Yi. And China haven't quite figured out yet how to incorporate that against the zone defense. I think if they emerge from today, or even if they don't, this is going to be a valuable lesson for them heading into the rest of the tournament.
Always tough to play that pick and roll against a zone defense because there's no switching. You don't get the kind of position you want on the penetration or on the roll because of that strong zone defense that Kazakhstan is playing. Liu Yue is checking in, giving a chance here for Go Ailun to sit down. He's got 2 personal fouls.
Full court pressure. Yue up the court. Jerry Johnson sitting on the bench. Margaliev into the game, but he handles the pressure. Or in fact, the crowd calling for an 8-second violation. The referee says he got it over just in time. Here is Margaliev. Contested three-pointer is long. And Jai will let that sail out of court. China ball, they lead by 13. Just over a minute till halftime.
Tough task here for Kazakhstan. But again, they're sticking with that. Oh, wait a minute. Different kind of defense now. They're going man-to-man. And for China, you want to go to the post? Or maybe run a pick and roll?
Kazakhstan sitting 2 men close to Yi Jinlian, and he's been pinged with an offensive foul. The referee says your arm was hooked. Yi says, who, me? The referee says,
watch it here again. But trying to get low post position was Yi Jianliang against that man defense by Kazakhstan.
45 seconds until the main break. Here's Yargaliev. He's been aggressive. Nice feed to Klimov for 3. Misses.
Pick and pop situation, but nothing there from the outside for Kazakhstan.
Klimov's three-point shooting has been so important as we see Liu way under all sorts of pressure. He defers to Zhou Qi, the big man down the middle to the left hand, and he finishes off it in style. What a move from Zhou Qi.
Now that's got to be a highlight of this game. Zhou Qi. And Yao Ming must be happy with that kind of
Yao Ming
move.
saying, how does a 7-footer do that?
Put it on the floor, left-handed shot,
It's like
off the glass. Watch him attack it from the outside. Nothing Shigulin could do.
It's like a big greyhound weaving through an obstacle course.
And he's got those long arms, so if you try to stop him from scoring that close, you either foul him or you give up the shot.
Or both, as in this occasion. He
Exactly.
converts the three-point play as Alexander Zagulin sits down with his third foul.
Now, if there's any doubt that Zhou Qi is not 100%, well, he has erased that doubt.
Certainly has. Shot clock switched off. 10 seconds to play until the break. Klimov with the extra pass to Yargaliev. Great defense from Zhao. And they have 2 seconds to get it up. Liu Wei from just past half court. It was close, but it wasn't close enough. And after a serious challenge from Kazakhstan and their impressive zone defense, China is able to extend away late in the second half thanks to the play of Li Gun with 12 points, Yi Jinlian with 8, and Zhou Qi with the play of the night with his driving left-hand layup. It's half-time here in Changsha. It's China 42, Kazakhstan 26.
Just too many weapons here for China, opening up the 16-point advantage. Coach Gong Luming doing a great job in shuffling his players from 2-point distance, 70% shooting. And from 3-point distance, China with 4 connections and Kazakhstan with 3. China with a huge advantage. In terms of total rebounds, look, Kazakhstan has 1 more offensive rebound. 10 turnovers hurting China, and Kazakhstan with 9. That's because of the Kazakhstan defense.
I tell you, when you're shooting 73% from 2-point range, there aren't a lot of offensive rebound opportunities. China have found out here in the first half. There's Li Gun with 12, Jerry Johnson with 12, but he hasn't had enough support so far.
That's true. Jerry Johnson really needs a lot more support from his teammates, and Pomonarev, so far in this game, he's got only 2 points. And he's someone who's averaging 14 points a game, so he's way off target in this game so far.
Zhou Qi with 7 rebounds already, and he has sat out a considerable part of the game after that heavy clash with Anton Pomonarev.
Oh, that was a collision.
Who he has not been back into the game either, Ponomarev. We see there, he looked like he was in all sorts of trouble, but he returned to the game with a vengeance. Here's a man who's been playing with a vengeance the whole game, Jerry Johnson, splitting the screen.
You can see the Kazakhstan coach, Strebkov.
There's a tough shot from Smirnov, and there's Yi, the pick and pop.
That's money in the bank for Yi Jianyang. Give him that open space from that distance, and he's not going to miss.
The fans have been enjoying it here in Changsha. It's been a night for the hometown so far, and the flag has been flying proudly. Although this man, look at this move up and under from Jerry Johnson against the 7-footer.
And the hesitation on one end, and the beautiful move, putting it on the floor, the big guy, getting it with the left hand and completing the 3-point play opportunity.
It's been a fascinating first half so far, a contrast of styles, and it's China in the lead, 42-26.
这边前排这些小朋友已经主动的都已经五花八门、舞狮招展了，但是这边的观众是有摇手，你们没有跳啊，所以这边的朋友们向后转，齐步到这里走，快点，这边画上的奖品都是你们的。好，朋友们，中场最后一个奖品，中场最后一个奖品，大家很多人都已经拿到我们的东北大侠大家肯定对场别不上了，这是我们的最后一个奖品。大家看到，在我的手中为大家拿的是我们的起亚 K4的非常精美的一个车模，不知道大家能不能在大屏幕当中看到我手里拿到的这个车模，这个车模是非常非常精美的口式玩具。它会有2位球迷获得，哪2位呢？刚才我说过了，大家看一下你的屁股后面，你的屁股后面有没有一张东方悦达起亚的贴纸呢？我看到那边已经有1位球迷了，没错，这辆车是你的。我们还有1辆车，快点找一下，朋友们，屁股后面有没有贴纸呢？没有2个奖品给您奉上。那这样，凡是能够找到将这个人请到我们吉祥物所在的这个入场口，这里是我们为您提供的东风悦达起亚非常精美的这个车模，好吗？感谢各位。好，我们在我们的节前水准中场秀的时间呢，再次给您介绍一下我们的本次大赛荣誉奖品。每一辆车玩响公司爱国节品牌为中第一亚锦赛给大家准备了10张比赛的门票作为抽奖的奖品。同时呢，大家可以参与到我们的有奖竞猜环节，猜中5场比赛结果就可以获得本次大赛在新鲜版来中1个，猜中6场就可以获得爱关节鲜露乳纯粉片1盒，猜中8场可以获得苹果 Beats 耳机1部，猜中9场可以获得 iPhone 6一台。同时呢，也可以把竞猜活动的信件发送到朋友圈，让更多的人参与到竞猜活动。另外还有几款我爱运动、我爱关节的中国篮球明星主题手机壁纸和爱关节40元礼券送给大家。参与的方式，大家拿出手机，打开蓝牙，打开定位，拿出你的手机，同时打开蓝牙和定位，在微信的摇一摇当中，只要用力摇手机，就有机会获得我们后续的比赛门票。
我是中国队赵鑫，我是中国队郭艾伦，我是中国队的保持中国队王维林，欢迎大家关注FIBA和体育来电双方微博、微信，欢迎大家关注FIBA和体育来电双方微博、微信。关注亚锦赛，为我们加油！关注亚锦赛，为我们加油！关注亚锦赛，为我们加油！
The Chinese flag has been flying high so far here in Changsha. It's the opening day of the second stage of the FIBA Asia Championship for 2015. China made it through the first stage undefeated and with a 16-point halftime lead. There aren't too many concerns for China, but perhaps one, Cornito.
Well, for China, Zhou Ping not able to play, and he had only 3 minutes of action against Jordan, so you wonder his status. Certainly a key player in China's rotation. He's the captain of this team. That is a cause for concern. Another one is the turnovers. 10 turnovers for China in that first half, as against only 9 for Kazakhstan. But I thought China's defense has been excellent in preventing Kazakhstan getting that ball moving.
We're underway here in the third quarter between China and Kazakhstan. I'm Paulo Kennedy. I'm joined by Cornito Henson. And Kazakhstan with some energy here in their opening offensive set. Jerry Johnson putting on a dribbling display, but he doesn't get anywhere. And in contrast, Anatoly Kolesnikov just puts his head down and barges through.
Well, he needs to be more aggressive. So far, only 3 points.
He did enough to draw the foul. He'll shoot 2 free throws. He's a man who we said earlier, the all-time leading scorer at Nicholls State University in the USA. So he does have the ability to fill up the basket. But so far this tournament, just shooting 30% from both 2-point and 3-point range.
Well, you need to recognize his talents. You need to set him up. It's difficult for him to create his own shots. And for Jerry Johnson, that's the big challenge. Only 3 assists for Kazakhstan in the entire first half. All 3 assists coming from Jerry Johnson.
All in into the basketball game to start the second half as we see a strong drive here. Nice move from Deng. And what a finish with the left hand.
And drawing up a roar from the crowd here. Carving space for himself. You see the athletic ability of the forwards, the wing players of China.
Zhao Jiwei started at point guard for China. He picked up 3 fouls in the first half, trying to contain Jerry Johnson. And so Guo starting here in the second. As Jagulan pops out, his jumper has been off the mark so far tonight. And Kazakhstan, their success in the first round, so much dependent on their big men being able to hit the shot. Here is a man who can hit the shot, but he's on a little bit of a drought as Kolesnikov goes strong to the basket. Some excellent defense there from Guo, but Kolesnikov good enough to finish through the contact, and the margin is back to 14. Guo with a spin move and a pass to Zhou Qi. He was benched after attempting a 3-pointer in the first quarter, so he defers. Guo to the floater, and it's what a finish from Guo Ailun.
And what a touch, right down the middle, Guo Ailun.
He is relentless offensively, he's relentless defensively. Here's Jagulan, can he get his stroke going? He can. A 3-pointer for Alexander Jagulan. And that's his first basket of the night.
Paul, that's really important because Jerry Johnson's got to get his teammates going. That time, another assist coming from Johnson. That's number 4 feed for him in this game.
Here's Yi. Kolesnikov, another tip, but he leaves Li Gen open. He misses this one.
Not a good shooting night for Li Gen. He's got to concentrate on defense.
Johnson pulls up in transition. He was feeling the rhythm. The rhythm wasn't feeling him, and it misses. And China lead by 13. Slowing it down, content to play half-court basketball. As Guo blows past Jerry Johnson. And he had no choice but to commit his second foul.
And there's a tendency for China to stagnate in the offense because they're so confident that their bigs are going to get in position to get the ball, and they're just waiting for that ball to sail inside to Yi Jianliang or to Zhou Qi. Now Li Gen, after missing several of his attempts, going to the bench, needs to cool his heels a little bit.
Well, they say after the flood comes the drought. He made his first 9 3-pointers of the championship. It hasn't been smooth sailing since. He hit his first 2 tonight. Here's the pick and roll, the pick and pop. Whoa, this time he kicks it across to the other side. Jai Tai Long into the game for his second stint of the evening as Zhou Qi pulls in the offensive board and finishes inside. He's got 10 boards, he's got 7 points, and don't worry about his knee injury. I think Zhou Qi is just
he's fine.
Here's Ilan Strong, aggressive drive to the basket. He kicks it to the corner. Klimov with a 3-point shot.
So far, so good. That outside shot has been there for Kazakhstan here in this quarter. And you notice that Kazakhstan is sharing the ball, something we didn't see much of in the first half where they only had 3 feeds.
Klimov comes up with the steal. A little bit of energy about Kazakhstan at the moment, but it's diffused by Guo Ailun with a timely foot on the Jerry Johnson pass.
Big responsibility on his shoulders, and Jerry Johnson certainly rising to the occasion here in the second half.
Here's Klimov again, strong into the basket against Yi. He's blocked by Zhou Qi on the help defense. And he sets Guo Ailun free. He explodes to the basket. He finishes with the right hand. And the building erupts here in Changsha.
Such explosiveness.
Explosive speed from Guo in the open court. Have a look at this finish. Jerry Johnson faster than your average bear, but he couldn't keep up with Guo on that occasion.
And Jerry Johnson bumping Go Ai-lun as he went airborne for the shot. That's the motion for 2 points, and he's going to get a bonus.
It was the motion, it was the emotion. He was feeding off the crowd here in Changsha. They've been waiting for a reason to explode. Kazakhstan have done a pretty good job of forcing China into a grind. The China have been the third quarter experts so far. Let's see what they can do with their pressure defense. As Yi Jianlian intimidates that one. He then steps out of court trying to retrieve the basketball, but great mobility from the big guy Yi defensively.
And good idea here to challenge the big defense of China. Jerry Johnson needs to have his rest with 3 personal fouls.
Azar. Oh, nice feed. What a fake from Klimov. He drives to the basket, finds Zagulin, and he finishes inside. And both Zagulin and Klimov starting to come to life for Kazakhstan. Here's Ding at the top. Shot clock at 10. Guo Ai-lun into the lane. He finds Zhao Tailong. Skip past to Ding. Good recovery from Kazakhstan. They force another turnover. Kolesnikov in the open court. And again he finishes. The margin back to 10. And Gong Lu Ming, the coach of China, wants to talk about it.
Grinded out game here by Kazakhstan, using their size to good advantage, and then the athletic ability of Kolesnikov to finish on the break. That's the second fast break, 2 points scored by Kolesnikov in this quarter.
We're just over 4 minutes into the third quarter, and it's China leading 50-40.
Well, big adjustments here.
Yeah, big adjustments here for China. And we're about to have a look at some of the great action from around world basketball that you can see at a FIBA event coming to you soon. Welcome back to Changsha. We have a resurgent Kazakhstan. They've closed the margin. The biggest lead for China was 16, which was at halftime. They've closed the margin to 10. What's their secret been?
No secret to what they're doing, right? In the first half, we saw only 3 assists for Kazakhstan. Had a difficult time getting shots off, 30% shooting from the floor because they were not moving that ball around and getting the good look.
We see some of the stats. China still 15 of 19 from inside. That's 79%. As we see inside-out play, Liu Wei back into the game. Zhao Tailong, this is a lineup we haven't seen before tonight. Here's Ding, step back. And a little miscommunication. Gong Lu Ming going with perhaps a lineup that haven't been used to playing with each other. And an opportunity for Kazakhstan. They can draw this within 7 on a 3-point field goal.
Well, that's zone defense, or like a matchup zone that Kazakhstan played that time, making it a little difficult for China to execute. They've been made to second guess now. What kind of defense is Kazakhstan going to throw on the floor?
And you can tell that Coach Vitaly Strebkov has done his homework about China with his zone defenses. Here's Klimov, he's feeling good. Look at that pass underneath, but Zagulin can't handle it. And Kazakhstan doing this with Jerry Johnson on the bench as Ilan fires from long range. Fight for the rebound. Diving on the floor, Zagulin spills out of his hands and Lee Gun comes up with it and he'll be fouled.
I want a mad scramble that time. Hustle play by both these teams.
Both teams understanding how important this is. China, they want to top this group. They want to be the top seed, get the more favorable matchups in the quarterfinals and the semi-finals.
It's all about staying unbeaten. Iran still unbeaten on the other section of the second round.
It's the second foul on Mirzad Aliyev. Oh, nice passing inside, but Lee Gun can't handle it from Yi. Shot clock into single figures as Liu Wei finds Lee Gun. Drives hard inside, but A rush play from Lee Gun, and it's almost like after hitting his first 9 3-pointers, having a couple of misses, it's almost thrown his game off a little bit.
That's right, because he's second-guessing himself as far as the outside shot is concerned. He's putting the ball on the floor, and that collapsing zone defense has been a problem for China.
They have yet to find the answers for that.
I'm interested to find out how many assists Kazakhstan has in this quarter. They had 3 in the first
3 at halftime, 3 already in this corner. As Kalashnikov draws another foul, and he's been impressive here in the third quarter. He's up to 9 points after having just 3 at halftime, and it's been his aggression, both in transition and going towards the basket.
Go Ai-Lun now checking in, and he's going to be paired up with Lu Wei in the backcourt. That's an interesting combination that Coach Gong Lu Ming has on the floor. Lu Wei still has to score in this game.
There's Zagulan at the top for 3, banks it in.
Off the glass.
Well, after a cold start, everything seems to be going right for Alexander Zagulan. He's up to 8 points. He's 2 of 3 from long range. And some murmurs around the stadium from the crowd here as Lee Gun misses again.
And you know, we did say how important it was for Kazakhstan to hit that outside shot. When you've got your big man connecting from way outside, sort of boosts your confidence now.
He flies down the middle with the jam.
Two-handed slam dunk. Yi Jianlian. Nobody there to stop him.
He saw the opening. He was cleared for takeoff. As Kazakhstan just get across the half-court line. Pressure defense from Guo, and it forces the turnover. Yi to Liu Wei.
The crowd now into it.
He feeds Lee Gun. Back to Yi. He jams it down with 2 hands. And he motions to the crowd to get excited. Yi Jianlian, he's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line for another look at this drive down the middle from Yi. Thunder jam from the big man.
It's like the parting of the Red Sea. And then the extra pass. Unselfish play by Lee Gun. He wanted that slam dunk from the big guy. And he got it done.
So did the crowd. They exploded. Zagulan with his 4th foul. China back out to an 11-point lead, and we've got a timeout here to Kazakhstan.
For a while, it looked like Kazakhstan had things going. They brought that lead down to 7 points. Good outside shooting, good movement without the ball, good ball movement. 3 assists in this quarter as compared to 3 assists in the entire first half for Kazakhstan. But China with the answers. China with Yi Jianlian.
Look at this floater from Guo. Just such soft touch. Here he is in the open court. The speed from Guo Ai-Lun. Jerry Johnson's 3rd foul. And how about Yi Jianlian? You think he enjoyed that?
I think the crowd enjoyed it a lot more.
And here he goes up on top of Alexander Zagulan, and he crams it on his head. The crowd had started to quieten, and now Yi gives them something to cheer about again. 12 points, 2 assists, 2 steals.
You know, it's reminiscent of his performance against Jordan when China blew him out 84-67. 26 points, 14 rebounds. He was the man of the moment for China in that contest, and he's living up to expectations once more in this one.
He certainly is, but interestingly, he's not down for 1 rebound yet tonight after pulling in 14 against Jordan.
You know, that's the kind of support that the big guys are giving Yi Jianlian. They wanted to specialize in what he can do best, step out for the open jumper, parting the Red Sea, and they're going strong to the hole for slammers.
Foul there on Liu Wei, and despite their superstar big man not pulling in a board, China still lead that category 26-17, and they've pulled in almost as many offensive boards as Kazakhstan have defensive rebounds.
Jerry Johnson back in the fray.
China in a zone, a matchup zone it looks like there, as we see a nice move from Smirnov, but there is Yi pulling in his first board of the night.
And every time he has a touch on the ball, there's a reaction from the crowd.
Certainly is. Here's Guo. What a combination between Guo Ai-Lun and Yi Jianlian as Liu Wei finds Guo. Can he hit another 3? Not this time. 12 points is the margin. Kazakhstan still within touch if they can put a few baskets together.
But they need to play composed basketball, and that's the reason why Jerry Johnson is back on the floor. Not that time, a turnover.
And who forced it? No one other than Guo. He's a defensive nightmare. He is athletic, he's fast, and he has anticipation. He forces the steal. There's Yi inside. And with pure strength, he goes through the challenge of Zagul, and he is out of the ball game. That's foul number 5 on the Kazakhstan big man. You see here the strength of Yi. And he's going for 2 free throws, a chance to rack up points number 14 and 15.
And Zagulin earlier had that back 3-point shot. He now has to sit on the bench, and that's it for him for the game. 5 personal fouls, 5 team fouls for Kazakhstan. They're in the penalty. China not yet in the penalty. And Yi Jianyan rarely misses from the stripe.
So far this tournament, he rarely misses, but an interesting gamble from Kazakhstan coach Vitaly Strebkov to leave Zagulin out there with 4 fouls. They'll now be undersized for the rest of this game, and they have a 14-point deficit to try and make up. And Jerry Johnson back in the game, double team from Liu Wei, forces the ball out of his hands. He gets it back. Still 16 on the shot clock for Johnson to make something happen. China again in this zone. Excellent defense from Yi. Shot clock now at 4.
The defense
Tough
keeping the ball outside.
Klimov drives hard at Wong, and he can't get it to go. Outstanding zone defense from China.
Nothing there for Kazakhstan's offense. And Pomonarev, I don't think, has checked back in after suffering that...
The back injury.
Yes, when he had a collision with Zhou Qi, and we back in the first half.
We haven't seen Zhou Qi much in this 3rd quarter, as we have 90 seconds to play until 3-quarter time. 2-3 zone again for Kazakhstan. It's been their most effective defense so far tonight. Wei Chi Lun inside. He has a soft left hand. Even when he cannons it off the back rim, it still bounces around softly and drops in.
What a touch for a big man, and that's against that zone defense.
Ilan trapped on the baseline. He finds Johnson. Smirnov open. He connected early in the game, but this one is way long.
Jerry Johnson not looking for the basket. I think he needs to be more aggressive and going strong to the hole. He had some beautiful layups back in the first half.
And the first half, he was getting those early ball screens, as we see some nice passing from China. It ends inside with Wang, but they're going to say that's a traveling violation. Some good help defense inside from Smirnov.
A good call that time. And when you have a little bit of delay in that pass inside, something's going to happen. Good defense by Kazakhstan in clogging the lane, making it difficult for Wang Jailin.
And this little 3-quarter court press from China, just doing a good job of forcing the ball out of Johnson's hands. This time he finds Yargaliev. It's a tough move. Foul called on Liu Wei. Yargaliev will head off to the free throw line.
Watch that move, and Liu Wei not able to keep in step. The elevation and the shot, good athletic ability shown there.
Liu Wei just giving him a friendly pat on the back as he elevated to shoot, but it was enough to pick up his 2nd foul.
We haven't seen Liu Wei show up in this competition so far. In this game, still nothing in terms of points. He's averaging only 2.3 points a game in the entire tournament.
Well, he's dished out 6 assists in his 32 minutes coming into this game, and we have seen a couple of sparkling dimes from him, but he hasn't been that same steady head that he's previously been known as in international basketball, and I'm sure Gong Lu Ming was hoping for in this tournament. Some good pressure defense from Kazakhstan out of their zone. Shot clock at 7. China not in any sort of offense. Liu Wei's going to have to fire. He does, and he nails it right on cue. Liu Wei hits a trademark pull-up jump shot. He extends the margin to 16. Hail Mary shot there from Yargaliev, and it's 3-quarter time here in Changsha. What a way to finish the quarter from Liu Wei to get his confidence going. There was an early challenge from Kazakhstan. They got the margin back to 10 points, but China had the answers, and they lead 61-45 after 3.
Tough challenge here for Kazakhstan. Pomonarev not able to check back in. Take a look at the 2-point field goal percentage of China, 82%. Now where's the defense in challenging those shots from 2-point distance? Turnovers, China with 3 more than Kazakhstan, even in steals. And those blocked shots of China just making it so difficult for Kazakhstan to have easy access.
And not just three block shots, but a lot of intimidated shots. And the fans are having a good time, especially that young fella. It's been a tactical game for Kazakhstan. Their zone troubled China for a while, but they haven't been able to keep the pressure cork on. And look at this move from Ding to the left hand. He was low on confidence coming into this game. He has performed well. There's Zagulin nailing a 3-point shot. And when Smirnov connected from the other side, we thought maybe it was a Kazakhstan revival. Kaleshnikov was busy this quarter. That was his most impressive basket for the period. But there were a couple of very impressive baskets from Yi as he crammed it on Zagulin.
And showing a lot of emotion and slamming that ball home. Kazakhstan had its moments in the third period. For a while, made it a little close, brought that lead down to 7. But China, again, stepping on the gas, making things happen with their bigs. They've been able to match up really well against Kazakhstan's bigs. Coach Gong Lu-min using more of a big lineup here than a small lineup.
It's the first day of the second round here at the FIBA Asia Championship. China, they led by 16 at halftime. They weathered a mini storm. They still lead by 16. I'm Paulo Kennedy. I'm joined by Juanito Henson. There's 10 minutes to play. Here's Guo Ailun. He has been impressive. This time he feeds it to Ding in the corner, and he knocks it down. What a way to start for China. They're out by 18 points.
Well, inside-outside attack for Ding. Earlier we saw beautiful moves to the basket and then spotting up for that outside jumper.
Ding Yanyu Hang now up to 10 points. He has 4 boards. It's been a coming out party for a man who was shooting just 29% from long range earlier in the tournament, as we see a lovely feed inside from Yargaliev. His big man can't finish, and whoa, as he does so well. He draws the foul. The referee says it'll be a sideline ball.
Opening the fourth period, Kazakhstan without Jerry Johnson getting much needed rest. I honestly think he's not 100%. Well, Coach Trepkov is pacing his main point guard.
Well, if his calf isn't 100% right, with an 18-point deficit now and just over 9 minutes to play, maybe they will rest Jerry for the rest of this game.
Well, we saw in the third period, he really was attacking the basket, lost his aggressiveness.
Inside. Zhai with the move. Weish. Wang Shailing follows up with the left hand, but this time he can't finish. And an opportunity for Kazakhstan. If they're going to make any inroads, they need to start making a run soon.
You know, that's the big difference between Wang Zhelin and Zhao Qi. In that situation, Zhao Qi would have just knocked that ball inside with a slammer.
And Zhao Qi, so patient as well.
Yeah.
He'll use his pivot foot to get that opportunity as Mirza Galiev dribbles into trouble, and he leaves Klimov with an impossible job with the shot clock running down, but he follows it up and draws the foul. And Klimov has been a standout in this tournament for Kazakhstan.
Ding got smacked in the face.
Yeah, he has collided with Ding. I think as he elevated for that shot, his arm has got Ding across the bridge of the nose, and I think his eyes are watering just at the moment.
And you saw glimpses there of the opposing coaches. Coach Gong Lu-min, a legendary figure in Chinese basketball. Top of our coverage, we mentioned a very rare personality in that he played in the Olympics in 1988 and he coached the Chinese national team in the Olympics in 1996.
Klimov misses the first. He's averaging 9.7 for the tournament, just 4 points so far tonight, courtesy of that free throw and a three-pointer in the third quarter.
And here's the backcourt combination we were expecting and looking forward to watching. Guo Ailun and Zhao Jiwei now playing together.
And usually Coach Gong unleashes that defense straight after halftime to really turn the pace of the game, but with Zhao Ji Wei on 3 fouls. He opted to go with a more conventional lineup, but now we see them out there together.
I think they see that Kazakhstan is on the ropes and they're going for the jugular right now. You know, one reason why Go Ailun and Zhao Ji Wei play so well together is that they actually play for the same club, the Chinese Basketball League, the Liaoning Flying Leopards.
And they are an outstanding defensive combination, and they both love getting out in the open floor. And given their youth, Zhao just 20 years of age, Guo 21, you have to say, is this the backcourt of the future from China? Oh, outstanding pass there from Zhao Ji Wei.
Not just
cut off.
Not just the backcourt of the future. I think the backcourt has arrived. It's the now.
The future is
backcourt.
now
Yeah,
here in
that's
Changchun.
right. They're certainly making an impact here in the backcourt for China.
Some may say the future is Zhao
Yeah,
for China in
right.
the backcourt. Shot clock at 2, fall away. Jump shot from Zhai is short. And here is Mirzagaliev. He has an opportunity against the defense, which isn't yet set. And Ilan draws the foul. It's a second team foul on China in this quarter. The margin is 17. What have Kazakhstan got to do to get back into this game?
I think number one, they need Jerry Johnson back on the floor. He's a stabilizer. He gets things going. But you don't know what his condition is at the moment. Maybe Coach Trepkov will want to rest him for the next games.
Well, they have big games coming up in the next 2 days against Jordan and Korea. And with this game looking almost out of hand, perhaps he's being rested as Guo with a speed. He puts the foot on the accelerator and he motors in for 2 points. Exhilarating play from Go Ailun.
And getting the crowd going once more. He's such an exciting performer on the break.
I said it earlier, I think he is going to become the Chinese Sergio Yul, such is his physical ability and his aggression out on the court. And this time I think he has committed a foul, which will send Ilan to the line for 2 free throws.
You watch it right here. What a clinic in running a fast break.
And there was that combination, Zhao to Guo. They know each other so well. They were both stars at the junior level internationally. And as you said, they are now making that step up.
And they're maturing together. Oh, here's a technical foul. And Go Ailun is called for a technical foul. So it'll be 1 free throw for Ilan and possession for Kazakhstan. Referee establishing his authority with that technical foul.
Ilan makes the second. There's 1 more to come. Margin sits at 18. For those of you who don't know who Sergio Yul is, the Spanish star who was a big part of their European Championship win recently in France. And also a star for Real Madrid. If you haven't seen him play, well, just watch Go Ailun and the way he goes about it in the open court, and you'll get a fair idea of what Yul is all about. There is Zhao putting the pressure on, and whenever Jerry Johnson has been on the bench, poor old Mirzagaliev, the backup point guard, has faced a lot of pressure. Here's Kolesnikov, strong drive, he feeds it to the corner. The scrambling Chinese defense forces the miss. There's Kolesnikov, he gets the offensive rebound. He'll go to the free throw line for 2.
And getting a nice applause there from Coach Trepkov and the thumbs up. What they wanted was ball movement. A lot of movement without the ball as well. And then getting the offensive rebound. That's what you call effort on the part of the Kazakhstan 5 on the floor. That's what you want. If you're going to lose this game, you want to go down fighting. Key players of Kazakhstan not on the floor. Earlier, Zhigulin had those 2 3-point shots, disqualified with 5 personal fouls. Jerry Johnson sitting on the bench. Pomandarev as well.
Kolesnikov up to 10 points. And what today's games have shown us is the second round of this tournament, there are going to be a lot of tight contests. And the key for Kazakhstan now is to stick to the plan, prepare themselves for the tough games coming up. as Zhai buries the three-pointer. Zhai Xiaochun, he's been impressive tonight. He's 2 of 2 from long range.
He's been looking for that shot. You know, talking about the second round hostilities, Paul, I think it's also important that the teams now show what their bench can do. It's been a grind. This is the 4th game of the tournament, and the key starters are going to be put to a test. They need to get their rest. Reserves have to step up and give them support.
Missed shot there from Kolesnikov. It was a nice move. He loves ripping through to the right and driving down the middle, but that time he couldn't get the floater to go. As you hear a roar in the effects mic, it's because Yi is back into the game.
You know, and having said that about how important it is for the teams to show their bench strength, here we have Coach Gong Lu Ming continuing to rotate his players, giving everyone maximum exposure.
And they have such confidence in each other, this Chinese team. You see the ball movement. Any open man is a good option, it seems. Ding is tripped. Probably a good foul for Kazakhstan because Yi was about to fire from mid-range. Strong drive there. See Ding so far tonight, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. We mentioned earlier he'd been shooting 36% from inside, 29% from outside. But so far tonight, he has improved those numbers. 2 of 4 from 2-point range and 1 of 3 from the perimeter. Zone defense, Zhou Qi inside. Reach in from Ilan, he dislodges the ball. Now Kolesnikov off in transition, spins to the middle. Nice pass to Ilan. And he finishes the simplest of layups. And Kazakhstan past the half-century mark.
And that inside pass from Kolesnikov, very, very important. Actually, no other option for him because he had Zhou Qi right in front of him.
He's 217 centimeters, but when those arms go up, I think he's probably not far off rim height. Here's Liu Wei. I think Kazakhstan would be pleased with their defense. This zone has been excellent as he executes an outstanding move, but travels in the process.
Nullify the basket, yeah.
I think they'd be happy with their zone defense. They haven't been able to tick the scoreboard over enough to keep the pressure on China.
Well, Paul, they really haven't been able to play at full strength. Jerry Johnson, Pomanurev, not playing here in the 4th period. That's been a big crippling thing for Kazakhstan here in this second half.
Mirzagaliev is off the mark with his 3-point attempt, and Kolesnikov does not free the fast break. He fouls at half court.
Good opportunity for Liu Wei to pick up minutes here. Guo Ailun sitting on the bench because he drew that technical foul. He's got 4 personal fouls. Now players coming in. And Zhou Peng
into the game.
It's his first appearance in this contest. Last time out, he only had, what, 3 minutes?
He played the first 3 minutes of the game against Jordan and then sat. And then he hadn't played today. We were starting to wonder if there was an injury concern because he had 14 points in the opening game against Korea. He was a major factor as Zhou Wei nails a big 3-pointer. He extends the margin now out to 20 points. It's 71-51. Just under 4.5 minutes still to play here. Kazakhstan, they'll be looking to limit the damage. They want to take some momentum from this game into the next. It's a nice move from Kolesnikov. He froze Zhou Peng with an offside dribble and finished with a little floater.
Putting it on the floor there. Nice move on the part of Kolesnikov. But you know, the one-on-one action, that's not going to cut it for Kazakhstan. They did very well in the 3rd period because they had the ball moving around. They had their assists.
Liu Wei shot that one a long way. It sailed over the basket. And it'll be a Kazakhstan ball when we return from this timeout. They trail by 18 with 4 minutes to play.
Cruise control here for China, up by 18 points. Different combinations being fielded here by Coach Gong Lu Ming. Xiao Peng hadn't played at all until the last minute when he was sent in by Coach Gong Lu Ming. Kazakhstan, as we were saying, had its moments, especially in the 3rd period. I thought in the 2nd period they also did quite well.
And the Chinese defense has been outstanding. They've held Kazakhstan to 53 points in 36 minutes of play.
Well, Paul, they matched up. China matched up against the bigs of Kazakhstan in this game. They didn't go to a small lineup. Generally, they went to their bigs. And the bigs certainly responded.
There is Liu Wei. He's been such a stalwart for this national team, and I'm sure even if he isn't producing his best form on the court, but he's having a big impact behind the scenes, guiding the young guards. We just saw Zhao Ziwei after he hit that three-pointer.
And he liked that three-point shot, thumping his chest with his fist. That's almost been like a trademark in basketball. After hitting a big shot, you thump your chest with your fist, and Li Gun has certainly made that a trademark of his. Ye Jianliang, I mean, China, unrelenting. They still have Ye Jianliang on the floor.
And they still have some full court pressure. Kazakhstan passed their way through it.
And you know, this is called creating good habits. If you're China, you want to be able to show this pressure, show this effort down to the last second of this game. Doesn't matter how much you're leading by or how much you're losing by, you take it possession by possession, and that creates good habits.
And the contrast between the two defenses, the undermanned Kazakhstan sitting in this 2-3 zone, China up the floor trying to force turnovers. Here's Liu Wei driving to the runner. Tough shot from Liu Wei. And every now and again, he just teases us with a little bit of his old form.
You know, I think he still has a lot in store for the fans.
Kalashnikov up and under. Yeah. What a finish from Anatoly Kalashnikov.
Very quiet first half for him, but he has certainly exploded here in the second half. He's had to step up. Pomarev not there.
Just under 3 minutes remaining. Liu Wei and Zhou Peng working together. Zhao Ziwei back to his veteran teammate, and that one rattles in and out.
But they're setting up Liu Wei, and it's nice to see the young guard giving it to the veteran.
A big block there from Yi. Kalashnikov was feeling good. He took it straight at Yi Jianlian, and he did not come off best from that exchange.
And Ye Jianliang saying, not quite.
Look at the timing from Yi. He swats that one out of bounds.
That must be, what, block number 4 for the entire Chinese team in this game so far?
It is the 4th block. They had 3 at halftime. Nice feed. Oh, exchange of passes ends inside with Klimov, but once again Yi steps up and says, not in my house.
Tremendous reaction on the defense by China off the pick and roll situation and the extra pass, but still nothing from Kazakhstan.
Zhou Peng working from the high post. Yi down low. Nice skip pass to Zhao. He attacks the basket. Showtime pass to Zhou Peng, who goes to the pull-up. It won't drop. And Mirzagaliev pulls in the rebound. 3-on-1 opportunity. Ooh!
That's going to be a hard fall.
That was a nasty collision. Zhou Peng seemed to be out of position, and he collided with Mirzagaliev. He apologizes immediately. Oh, he slipped over. Slipped on the painted area. Oh, and that could have been nasty for Mirzagaliev as he flew over the top.
He broke the fall with his 2 hands.
Li Muhao into the ball game, and Yi Jianlian takes a well-earned rest with 15 points and a couple of block shots just in the last minute, as well as an impressive block in the first quarter.
Talking about using your bench now, Coach Gong Lu Ming bringing in Li Muhao, who hadn't played at all in this game until now.
Li Gen just getting up his volunteer hours, helping with the floor wiping. Mirzagaliev, he has 2 rebounds and 1 assist. He's yet to get onto the scoreboard. He has 1 more opportunity from the foul line.
$18-point lead here enjoyed by China. Certainly much better effort from Kazakhstan than in the previous outing when they were blown out by Lebanon by 36 points. So this is a comeback appearance here for Kazakhstan.
Spot on.
It's a character thing.
And I think that would have been a real focus.
Yeah.
Once the game started to blow out, they would have had a focus of being able to play possession by possession, stick at the ball game. You see a long 3, an ambitious 3-point attempt from Zhao Ziwei. Here's Kazakhstan looking to attack. Klimov on the drive. He retreats when he sees the towering figure of Li Muhao in his way. Now a strong drive to the baseline. Trapped underneath was Marchuk, but he'll get the ball back. 7 on the shot clock, 80 seconds remaining. And it's been a clinical performance from China. Perhaps not as brilliant as some of their earlier efforts.
I thought they changed their style in this game. They didn't go so much to Zhao Jiwei and Go Ailun in the backcourt.
Marchuk to the basket. It's a goaltending.
Yep. They score the basket here for Kazakhstan.
So it's back to 16 points. In fact, it's back to 15 points, 73 to 58. We tick down to a minute to play. A nice steal there from Mirzagaliev, who's been impressive in this second half. He flicks it over to Yargaliev, his partner in the backcourt, and he scores. He's up to 9 points for the evening. And it's a 13-point ball game.
And the lowest China has scored so far in this tournament is 76 points against Korea. Now they're just 73 points.
Nice feed there from Zhao Jiwei to Lu Wei, and Lu Wei scores on the runner. And his right-hand floater has looked nice tonight.
Of course, he had that buzzer beater. I think that might have ended the third quarter, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
So that has certainly boosted his confidence.
Nice
Here's that
feed
extra
inside, and Marchuk throws it down. Beautiful backdoor cutter, lovely feed from Klimov, and one of the few highlights tonight for Kazakhstan.
And for Kazakhstan, that's a respectable margin of difference, 13 points.
Especially when you consider they did not have Ponomarev for a lot of the game. They didn't have Jerry Johnson for most of the second half. They've certainly shown that they'll be competitive in the next two games as Lu Wei throws up a prayer and Lee Mu-hao follows it up. And he gets a foul. He'll go to the free throw line with the opportunity to get on the scoreboard. So far, 9 Chinese players have scored. He can be the 10th. And we see there Klimov just clinging to his arm to try and prevent the easy jam. Just 0.8 of a second remaining in this game. So this will probably be the last opportunity to score. Lee Mu-hao with 1 rebound in his limited time on the court. He can't score. And that's all we've got time for here in Changsha for the clash between China and Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan were gallant. They troubled China with their zone defense. Jerry Johnson was hot early. He finished with 11 points and 4 assists. But it was China who were the story in the end. Yi Jianlian with 15 points. Li Gen with 12. And Ding Yanyu-hung with 10 points and 4 boards. As both teams exchange congratulatory high fives. China will meet in the middle, but they are victors here by 13 points. They huddle in the middle of the court. A near capacity crowd here in Changsha gives them a round of applause. There is Yi, there's Li Gen. They were both in double figures.
And if it's any consolation for Kazakhstan, this is the lowest point total that China has scored in the entire tournament so far.
It was still more than enough. China remain undefeated, 75 to 62.
Well, in a game where Jerry Johnson did not score the entire second half, Ponomarev also getting injured, 71% shooting from 2-point distance for China, and 6 3-pointers knocked down as well with Kazakhstan. Rebounding story, that's the advantage for China. Not too many reasons for China to get offensive rebounds because they were shooting so well from 2-point distance.
Perhaps
plus 6 turnovers.
The area of concern for China, 19 turnovers. They did play some enterprising basketball, but it wasn't the high pace we had seen earlier. So 19 turnovers, probably a high figure for them. We see Kalashnikov with 14 points leading the way for Kazakhstan. Johnson with 11 was the other player in double figures, while Yi with 15 led the way with a couple of big dunks in the third quarter.
And you didn't even see Pomonarev's name among the top scorers of this game for Kazakhstan. He's averaging, before this game, 14 points a game.
Zhou Qi led the way with 11 boards in 16 minutes. It was a fast start from China. They burst out of the blocks. They led 10-0 after 2.5 minutes. And from there, as we see some of the Big defense inside from Zhou Qi. And Li Good with one of his early 12 points where he really set the tone for China.
When he hit his first 2 3-pointers, and then driving hard, using his wide body to get space. That was a collision.
Sickening collision from
Right.
the two big men.
Pomondarev might have had a little whiplash there in his head, and Zhou Qi holding on to his knee. And that dish coming from Li Gun, and Yi Jinliang making sure of the slam dunk.
And didn't he enjoy himself after those 2 slam dunks?
Oh, he loved it.
He got up in front of the crowd, he egged them on to get involved, and anything Guo Ailun seems to do in this tournament gets the home crowd involved.
Well, they wanted to accelerate. They put the ball in the hands of Guo Ailun. One other bright note here for China is Lu Wei finally finding his confidence in taking shots, finishing with just 6 points, but
6
still
points.
much higher than his average of 2.3 before this contest.
In the end, it was China left to celebrate. They were the winners, 75 to 62.